Bolo, listen to me, okay? This is the deal. Steve, the only way I could get this interview with him, I rented a room out in here, but I got a hold of his people and I told him that it was going to be a birthday party, personal appearance, all this stuff. Steve Fury never turns down a personal appearance. Okay, so this is what's going on. As soon as he gets out of this truck, I'm going to get you to take the camera, okay? And well, here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. Take it. Listen. I know there's supposed to be a birthday party here. I know there's supposed to be some things going on, okay? Listen, man, listen, don't worry about him. Don't worry about me, okay? Championship Wrestling wanted you to have, hey, I'm not doing anything, man. I'm not doing anything. Championship Wrestling wanted you to have a sit-down personality profile, okay? Leading into the biggest show of the year, September 22nd. They came to me because I know you better than anybody to do an exclusive interview. You got my word. You got my word. There's not going to be anything happening. I'm not going to try any funny business. Listen, I know it's supposed to be a birthday party. I did that, Steve, because you would have never came to the offices. You would have never came to the offices to talk to me. Okay? But it's in best interest for both of us to get this thing done, man. 20 minutes. 20 minutes of your time. I got a room rented in there, okay? All we got to do is do the sit-down interview, and it'll help you out. It'll help you out, let the people know what I already know, okay? Hey, you don't like me, I don't like you. But they want us to get this done. This better not be a trick. It's not a trick. It's better not be a joke. Alright.
I'm so hot, man, I'm on fire. Spitting through the wire, won't stop until I retire. Come throw your lighters up, just a little higher. Ring the alarm, cause I'm spitting wildfire. Club scene, I'm known to get bugged. Hit the back door with Patron in my cup. Tell the DJ, turn it up. She's bumping, that's what's up. Grab the mic and I show you crunk. Check your girl, she my beat starstruck. Turn the bass up and let it thump. Tell you right now, this gon' bump. Got the floor moving like an earthquake. When you see it, might think a jailbreak. It's my birthday, want all the cake. Spit the truth, cause I ain't fake. To the haters, hope you get a headache. Stop your ass out just like a pancake. Stand back and watch you shake, shake. Stand back and watch you shake, shake. I'm so hot, man, I'm on fire. Spitting through the wire, won't stop until I retire. Go throw your lighters up, just a little higher. Ring the alarm, cause I'm spitting wildfire. Got him in the back like can't see you. Got him in the front like I'll beat you. What's it gonna be when I get through? Pick up the sound like it's brand new. Loved by a lot and hated by a few. Like the song, yes, it's true. Don't test me, you'll get ran through. Pick up the bottles like I owe you. Mess with me on the beat, you'll get schooled. Slips and drunk, looking like a fool. In the club, breaking all the rules. Bottle running low, need more fuel. Hit up the bar, take a couple more shots. Know I'm here, so hit the hot spot. Talking and dodging the cops. I don't need no damn props. I'm so hot, man, I'm on fire. Spitting through the wire, won't stop until I retire. Go throw your lighters up, just a little higher. Ring the alarm, cause I'm spitting wildfire. We staying so hot, we staying so hot, we staying so hot, we on fire. We staying so hot, we staying so hot, we staying so hot. Ring the alarm. Coming for blood like a vampire. Call shots in the game like an umpire. Not talking about that gunfire, just a little bit of that barbed wire. On any track I can go haywire. Now I have two, it's a desire. If I was a gem, I'd be a sapphire.
Welcome back to Championship Wrestling. I'm John Hawkins, and with me I have Steve Fury. This is going to be an exclusive interview, Steve, going over your career and actually your life. So, I mean, a lot of people want to know. I don't know why. I mean, they should be doing one on me anyway. Steve, go ahead and give me a little bit of history on your where you're from. Let the people know where you're from, where you went to school, all that good stuff.
I guess I'm from the hills of Southwest Virginia, a place called Castlewood. Went to Castlewood High School, played basketball, football. Didn't even think about wrestling at that point in time, but I was a pretty good basketball player. Went on to college and played at UVA Wise. Really there's not much to tell there.
Well, I mean, being a standout basketball player, I've seen the clippings. I mean, you're not like me. You're not going to sit here and exactly pull out every little accolade you have, but I know them. And I know you were, you know, one heck of a basketball player, and that's probably where that moonsault comes from, I would guess. But other than that, Steve, you know, like I said, everything's going smooth here. Everything's going good. Hey, man, you can trust me on this. I'm getting paid for this, you know. The deal is, man, after the basketball thing, you know, went down and you started, I know you wanted to get into wrestling. I know that was always a big deal with you, but there's also some martial arts background to you, or is that
Well, no, I don't like talking about it. I studied a few disciplines, Seishin-kai, a little bit of jitsu, something like that. I can take care of myself with that, but I did a few things.
Well, I would say at 6'7" and 285 pounds, you can pretty well take care of yourself in most situations. I mean, you know, give the people then a little bit. Yeah, I can see you're not a man that wants to talk. You're usually not a man that wants to talk at all, but not really a man that wants to talk about his past.
You don't worry about the past. You focus on the future.
Well, it all correlates. That's the way I found out. But moving on, Steve. Let's get to the fact that when I met you, when we started into wrestling, you know, going back, I remember the day myself. Not a lot of people know this. I want you to tell the people a little bit about, you know, your long road into wrestling. No matter how you feel about me, the way I took you in. I met Steve one day at a public event. I'll just put it that way, and he was really a standout among the crowd kind of person. Kind of like the same way I meet anybody I take under my wing, like a Bolo or anybody else. I just sort of see him in the crowd. But he expressed interest in being a professional wrestler, that he had already spent a little bit of time with some people locally to get into wrestling, and something happened there at that point with the injury, right?
Yeah, I broke my hand.
And you didn't get to continue it at that time, but go ahead and tell them about your you know, your training and stuff, so people know you just didn't pop up out of nowhere.
Well, as you know very well, John and I worked on the psychology of wrestling for a long time before he even let me get in the ring. Now, I've always been big enough, I've always been bad enough, I'll take on anybody that comes in my way. But he wanted to teach me more about wrestling than just getting in there and beating the crap out of people. So, you know, it's just a lot of psychology, a lot of just not actually working out in the ring. It was actually working out in the yard, you know, taking bumps on the ground. There wasn't no luxury of having a rig. It didn't mind. It didn't bother me. I mean, I was getting into the sport that I love. And hey, I mean, you get in there and you get to beat up people, get knock people around. It's great.
Speaking of that, I mean, besides some of the training, I mean, you had the luxury of meeting people like Terry Funk and Jimmy Hart before you ever stepped into a ring, taking you on the road, you know.
Jerry Lawler,
yeah,
Kid Cash.
Right. That was, I mean, all instrumental in the early days. Steve, speaking of beating people up, I remember your first night in the business. You beat up, what was it, 19 other guys? And
the whole promotion.
The whole promotion, and a promotion that's now defunct, a promotion that should be defunct anyway. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But tell me a little bit about, you know, how it finally felt to get in the ring that night, and, you know, your first night in and prove yourself like that.
You know, it's a rush, man. You get in there, and especially where you're taking on pretty much every guy in the federation, and you're throwing them out of the ring. It just set a standard of what I wanted to set when I got in this business. I wanted to be the biggest, I want to be the baddest, and I want to be the best. That's plain and simple. I went over that whole promotion in one night, and now I'm looking for the bigger and better thing.
All right. Well, when we finished our tour of duty in that promotion, we came into championship wrestling, and I believe, what was it, about April '05, somewhere around that area. Came into championship wrestling, and once again you start off in a battle royal. Once again You're victorious. I'll break my ankle, by the way, for anybody who wants to buy the DVD. And nobody came to pick me up. Anyway, that's neither here nor there again. But
You're a big boy.
you went through quite a few people. I mean, a big number of people after debuting in championship wrestling, and all the naysayers who had never heard of you, just knew you had a good look to you. They went down. I mean, there was quite a few thumpers at the first. There was quite a few, you know, Comptons or whatever. But still, yeah, you built your way up, and you worked to deal with Ray Idle, and you guys. It seems like you worked at. Is that, you think Ray Idle might be your favorite opponent that you've had, or?
Yeah, you can say I like Ray. I don't agree with what you've done with him or what you did to him. But Ray's a good guy. He's tough.
Well, he was a good guy until he recently came back and kind of
Kind of come to his senses, didn't he?
I wouldn't really call it come to his senses.
Just like I did.
Anyway, moving on. After the deal with the singles idea, there was probably the most successful stint as far as being in the main event of your tenure in championship wrestling. You formed KMF with, even though it's late at night on championship wrestling, we still cannot say what KMF stands for. But you formed KMF, the Devil's Duo, with Chris Richards and moi.
Right.
And we just ran over everybody. Just dominated. Dominated everybody. There's nobody could even come close.
That's great.
Took down the likes of Heidenreich and Josh Cody.
Legion of Doom, yeah.
Yeah, the street fight deal, all that stuff. I don't know how you look back on that, but no matter what you say about me, you cannot deny the fact that we were one of the most dominant teams ever in East Tennessee history.
Yeah, that was a past, but I'll have to say it, we were the most dominant team in wrestling. Nobody could come close to us.
Well, I mean, we went numerous places, West Virginia, everywhere we went, it was the same result. And
well, quite frankly, if I hadn't got hurt, we'd probably still have the belts right now.
right.
I'm confident in that.
Well, that's that gets me to another point. Talking about you getting hurt. Probably one of the biggest roadblocks in your career, because in my opinion, it set you back quite a bit, because you were on a rise. You get hurt, your mind starts messing with you. You start thinking about things in a different way. You start caring more about the people, about the snot-nosed brat in the front row, about the overweight, middle-aged Waffle House waitress here on the corner trying to get a picture with you. You start caring about stuff that you really shouldn't be caring about, because you lost sight of the prize, Steve. You lost sight of what really mattered in wrestling. What really mattered, having the goal. But no, I see you building up here. I see you furying up a little. Steve, won't you tell the people that wasn't in Kingsport that night, when you had your moment in the sun, to tell everybody before you walked away in the sunset, about the injury, about what happened that day. And I know you don't like to talk about stuff that has to do with you, but the people want to know why you were gone and what happened there with that injury.
Well, I just came back from the gym, working out, me and my son actually, driving up, and that lady had drove over the side of the hill in her car. The car was about to catch on fire. She was unconscious. I had to go in, pull the steering wheel up, pull her out, pull her up a hill. In the process of doing that, I tore muscles in my back and actually got a bulging disc as well. So, I mean, I was in the right place at the right time. Unfortunately, that happened to me, but everything happens for a reason. I mean, I think I know that. That's what I believe in. But, just like I said, she's alive now because of that, and I thank God for that.
So you risk your career and your personal safety, instead of calling on a cell phone, a little bit of 911, you
got on the cell phone. She'd have been a marshmallow, a roasted marshmallow right now. She wouldn't have made it. So yeah, I had to do what I had to do.
And during that time when you were down, you rethought your life. Is that correct?
Yeah, kind of. And, you know, I don't remember getting too many phone calls from you. Not too many letters from you, but, you know, the fans started stopping me and talking to me, asking me how I was, you know, sending me letters, actually calling everything. And it really did make a difference because I really didn't know if I was going to come back to wrestling or not. I really didn't know if I was going to be able to do anything.
Well, people that do stupid things, in my opinion, don't get a lot of phone calls from me. And when you're under contract with me, which we had a contract that you let run out, but when you're under contract to me, just to explain this for the first time to you, and you do something outside, I mean, just like a big NFL star goes out here on a motorbike, right? And he's drunk, on cocaine, whatever, got needles hanging in his butt, and 110 mile an hour right into a wall. Then what happens? Do you think the owner of that football team calls him up and says, "Hey man, you all right? Yeah, you okay? You cool?" No, they fire him.
Listen, I don't know how well your memory works, but the fact of the matter is, you threw me out of John Hawkins Promotions. It wasn't the other way around. You didn't call me. You started making excuses like I was the reason we were losing. I dropped the ball. You remember any of this? You threw me out. It wasn't the other way around.
Okay, Steve. All right. Listen. Calm down. We're doing this because we're supposed to be doing this.
Get on with it.
All right, I'll get on with it. Steve, after that, you battled back, and you became pretty much the most popular thing in championship wrestling, behind Tony Gibbons and Robbie Cassidy. I mean, you know,
You're pretty popular guys.
oh yeah, they're popular. They're
Fans
popular. Trust me, I'm pretty sure that G1 is about right here on the popularity, and Steve Fury's probably right here. But I mean, you're close. You're close.
Some say.
I mean, just go ask G1. They'll tell you. I'm sure they will. I mean, I'm not trying to stir the pot or anything. I mean, you're not in it for a popularity contest.
You wouldn't stir the pot, not at all.
But, you know, you fought your way back. You were supposed to have a match with Ray Idle. Ray Idle got injured. And you ended up going against one of my cronies that I pulled back from a while back. And you won the title.
Yeah.
You won the largest, most recognized, most prestigious belt in East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, Eastern Kentucky. I mean, the most in the area. No matter what you say, Championship Wrestling's national heavyweight title is the most prestigious belt because it's the most prestigious promotion. What did that feel like to you?
No, it was great. I mean, that's what we're in wrestling for, is to be the best. The national heavyweight title means that you're the best in this area, bar none. I wore that belt with great pride because I take pride in being the best. That means I get to take on anybody that wants it. It doesn't matter.
So you're the best.
The best.
That belt tells us that you're the best.
Yeah, that's what it means.
Okay, all right. Steve, does the best usually work the semi-main event on a show? Does the best usually, I don't know, third, fourth match, you know, that's a barn burner spot. You know, then you got like G1 in the main event. I guess they're, you know, they try to put the next best on top, right? You remember back when we used to main event, you know, like when you were with me? As a tag team? Wow, as a tag team you main event over and over and over. Some of the biggest houses in Kingsport. And, I mean, I'm just asking you a question here. You know, semi-main event, is that what the best is, Steve? Is that the best?
I knew this was a principle.
Hey, man, no, hey, listen.
You're up to your same old games.
No, listen. I'm sorry, Steve. I'm sorry. I stepped over the bound. Listen, Steve, I stepped over. I got carried away. I'm sorry. I apologize, please. Please, we can edit that part out. We can edit that part out later. I'm sorry. I got worked up.
No more tricks.
No more tricks. I promise. Listen, I'll be in a lot of trouble if I don't come back with this interview, okay?
You're not being in trouble anyway.
Listen, I'm sorry. Just sit down, big guy. Sit down. You know, it's okay, Bolo. It's okay. Just keep holding the camera.
You stay over there, big boy.
Hey, don't rile him up. No. Listen, Steve. I'm sorry. We'll start it right.
Get on with it.
Well, okay. Listen, man. I'm being all calm and everything. All right, Steve. Wow. Let's move on, Steve, to being the national heavyweight champion makes you the best.
Right.
The best in the area. September 22nd, Kingsport Civic Auditorium. It's going to be the biggest show of the entire year. Could very possibly be the crowning moment of championship wrestling as a promotion. September 22nd, for all intents and purposes, will be the best night ever for championship wrestling. They've got this, I mean, it's a 4-hour card. They got a bell time of 7 o'clock. And the whole reason is, it's going to be the first ever best of the best tournament. Steve, I don't even know if you know much about it yet, but I was looking over the best of the best tournament, and you're not in it. You're not in the tournament, Steve. And being the national heavyweight champion, being the best on the biggest night championship wrestling history, where they're pushing everything, man. They're pushing everything on this poster. They're making it big, man. They're making it big, and you're not in the best of the best tournament, Steve. I mean, that means you're not in the main event, Steve. Hell, that means you're not in the semi-main event, Steve. I think you've got a tag match, buddy. I think you got a tag match that night, but that's okay, because you know you're the best. And you know, hey, I know I would never have dealt with you if I didn't know you were one of the best. But Steve, you're not in the best of the best tournament. In fact, I think what they consider will be the best gets a title shot with you after that tournament. And you know, how does it feel to be the champion and not be considered one of the best?